The last time you walked into your yard, something happened that you did not notice. Every bird within 60 feet of you ran a complete assessment of who you are in under 2 seconds. Before you reached the feeder, before you said a word, before you even fully stepped outside, they already had your file open. And here is what nobody tells you. That file, the one your Cardinal started building the first morning it ever saw you, contains more specific information about you than you realize. Your walking speed, your silhouette, the door you use, the time you usually appear, whether you move predictably or randomly, whether you make eye contact or look away, all of it stored, all of it active, all of it affecting how every bird in your yard behaves around you right now. You already have a score. You just never knew there was a test. Stay until the end, because the last thing we cover is the one behavior that drops your score instantly, and almost every person does it without ever knowing. Before we go further, do the birds in your yard stay calm when you walk outside, or does everything go quiet the second you appear? Drop it in the comments. I want to know your yard. I read every single one. This is Secret Bird Mine. Subscribe, because your score is about to make a lot more sense.
Most people assume birds react to humans as a category. That is not what happens. Research published in PLOS One studied how suburban birds respond to specific humans they encounter repeatedly. The results were remarkable. Birds do not see a human when you walk outside. They see you. The Cardinal at your feeder this morning has been watching you long enough to know which door you use, what time you usually appear, and whether you are the kind of person who moves slowly or rushes through. It has been building that file since the first morning you walked into its territory. And every morning, before you have your coffee, before you check your phone, before you fully open the door, the Cardinal is already watching, already running the file, already updating the score. Here is what that score actually measures. The first thing your birds assess is predictability. Research on avian habituation from Oxford University has shown that birds habituate to predictable stimuli far faster than unpredictable ones. A human who appears at the same time, uses the same door, walks the same path, registers as a known quantity. A human who appears randomly, approaches from different directions, moves at inconsistent speeds, registers as an unresolved variable. Unresolved variables get treated the same way predators get treated, with distance, with alarm, with an empty feeder every time they appear. The second thing your birds assess is speed. Picture your Cardinal sitting at the feeder. A slow-moving human appears at the back door. The Cardinal lifts its head, checks, returns to eating. The same human appears moving fast, rushing toward the feeder to refill it, with good intentions. The Cardinal is gone before the human reaches the steps, not because the human is dangerous, because fast movement looks identical to a predator strike in the threat processing part of a bird's brain. Your intentions are invisible. Your movement pattern is not. The third thing, and this is the one that surprises people most, is your silhouette. The robin on your lawn is not looking at your face. It is looking at your shape. A familiar human alone has a known silhouette. A familiar human carrying a garden bag, a ladder, a piece of furniture, presents a silhouette the birds have never seen before, and unfamiliar silhouettes get treated as unfamiliar threats. This is why your yard goes silent when you bring something new outside. The birds are not afraid of you. They are afraid of the shape you have become. Now here is where it gets personal. When your combined score crosses a threshold, when the birds in your yard have collected enough positive data about you across enough visits, something shifts. The Cardinal stops flushing when you open the back door.
The Chickadee stays on its branch as you walk underneath it. The crow on the back fence stops watching you the way it watches strangers. University of California, Davis research studying human-bird relationships in suburban environments confirmed that this behavioral shift is individual-specific. The same birds that stay calm for you will flush for a stranger entering the same space immediately after you leave. They are not habituating to humans. They are habituating to you. And once that threshold is crossed, something remarkable happens. The birds begin to vouch for you. The chickadee that stays calm on its branch as you walk below is broadcasting a signal to every other bird in your yard. This one is safe. You have been endorsed by a chickadee without ever asking for it, but your score can drop instantly. And the thing that drops it most is not what most people expect. It is not cruelty. It is not noise. It is not sudden movement. It is inconsistency. The person who feeds their birds every morning for 3 weeks, then stops for 4 days, then appears again unexpectedly, has not just missed 4 days. They have introduced unpredictability into a system that was built entirely around their reliability. The birds do not hold grudges, but they do update their models. And a human whose behavior suddenly stops matching its pattern gets reclassified, not as dangerous, as unknown. And unknown gets treated the same as dangerous. Research on animal trust building published in Animal Cognition showed that behavioral consistency is the single strongest predictor of positive human-wildlife relationships. Not kindness, not patience, not even food. Consistency. The mourning dove that eventually lands on a human hand did not decide to trust that human because the human was kind. It decided to trust that human because the human was predictable. Predictable enough that the dove's brain could model the human's next move and confirm, across dozens of observations, that the model held. You are safe because I know exactly what you are going to do next. That is the highest score. Not beloved, not special, predictable. And here is how you read your score right now. Walk into your yard tomorrow morning, the same way you always do. Watch the cardinal. Does it lift its head and freeze, or does it keep eating? Watch the chickadee. Does it pull tight against the branch, or does it stay relaxed? Watch the crow. Does it call when you appear, or does it simply note your arrival and return to what it was doing? Because in those 3 moments, those birds are giving you the most honest performance review you will ever receive from creatures who have no reason to be polite, no reason to spare your feelings, no agenda beyond accurate threat assessment.
High score. Cardinal keeps eating. Chickadee stays put. Crow notes your arrival and looks away. Medium score. Cardinal checks, decides, returns. Chickadee watches but does not move. Crow watches longer than it watches strangers. Low score. Everything flushes the moment you appear. That is where you stand. And now that you know what they are measuring, you know exactly what to do about it. Same time, same door, same pace, same path, every morning. Until the unknown becomes known, the unpredictable becomes predictable, and the cardinal at your feeder stops lifting its head when it hears your door open, because it already knows exactly who is coming, and it already decided you are not worth flushing for. The test was always happening, every single morning, before you had your coffee, before you checked your phone, before you opened the door. The cardinal was already watching. The chickadee was already ready. The crow had already noted what time you appeared yesterday and was already expecting you. You were never just walking into your yard. You were walking into an evaluation. And now, for the first time, you know exactly what they are looking for. Tell me in the comments, do the birds in your yard stay calm when you walk outside? Or does everything go quiet the second you appear? And has anything changed after watching this? I read every single one. If this changed the way you see your morning routine with your yard, share it with someone whose birds go quiet every time they step outside. They are about to find out why. Accurate bird mind. I will see you in the next one.